kinder and gentler cork stats. Powered by the Mayo Media Net and presented by Jock MKT. Download the daily fantasy app and use the promo code MMN, and they'll match the first $100 for free. Can you imagine if I was like that? Get the F out of here with that nonsense. It's Friday, and we came to take care of beeswax, baby. It's a big dude with a big mouth and a big apple. Big Johnny Stud, baby. MLB moving averages. Could you imagine that? I can't do that NPR thing for more than 15 seconds. You may notice the snazzy haircut and the snazzy button-downs. All the video people. I was just on cable TV. Finally, I could be DVR'd. I was on Nesson this morning on Follow the Money. Check it out. Dropped a few plays, although you're going to get the real deal here at Cork Stats. Please rate, review, and subscribe to the audio-only pod. And in a few minutes after I've earned it, I'm going to ask you for a like. I think that should do it. Let's get right up into it. Again, I'm such a creature of habit that I had to put stuff off and do some of this last night so I could make sure that I was prepared for Nesson today. And anytime I throw off my routine at all, I swear, I'm just like, I want to give up for the day. It's just total craziness, as if it wasn't crazy enough, which is kind of the reason why I tend to be so organized, right? You have to identify your own weaknesses and then try and address them. Again, I'm pretty self-aware of how ridiculous of a person I could be. Make no mistake. All right, here we go. It's the 3 pillars of profit. We're doing daily DFS, Jock MKT, total base props. We're going to jump into just a little bit of fantasy today, not much on the fantasy end. I just want to talk about a little bit of strategy from a theory point of view, and then we'll do a couple of bets. Oh my goodness, speaking of bets, you'd think the way things went yesterday was enough to make you want to quit. That Phillies miss. I didn't even know he missed it. I just saw people tweeting about a bad beat, and he's, 99% win, this, that, and the other thing, those charts that people track throughout the game. And it was us. It was the Phillies. They were up 8-0 in the bottom 7. They were up 8-2. Bottom 8, and they did not cover the run line. Jerry Familia, you stink, bro. You stink, bro. And Detroit, of course, didn't get it done. The Grossman prop was not posted early. They ended up posting a half base, so we didn't take it. Of course, he got a leadoff double. The Tigers wet their pants. He didn't get in. That would have been the second run we needed for the F5. Yesterday was a disaster. All right, enough of that. We need more of this. Let's get back into the black with the stack attack. Oh, I just added another rhyme. I'm a poet. Didn't even know it, baby. All right, it's a 729 stack attack. You can tell I'm all jacked up. I was really, really excited for the appearance today. I've been really flattered, with the way people are picking up what we're putting down. This really kind of crazy approach to baseball. I've been told I cover baseball like football. My dude Zach described Cork Stats as the mad money of baseball, which I absolutely love, with Kramer. Bye. I guess this is not too far off. All right, let's get into it. It's the Bluebirds from Toronto going up against Los Tigres from Detroit. Rock City, those bums. And Brian Garcia, he has not pitched yet this year, so I went back on the career, of course, always trying to provide as much nuance and context as possible. 68 innings, a 6.12 ERA, 1.7 whip, 16% K is too low, 13% walk is too high, 3.5 K minus walk, just not really even palatable, 40% fly ball, 11% barrel, and really, as you dissect the arsenal, the issue here is a sinker hyper usage, right? So it's coming in 55% use. Listen, I look at every single arsenal every single day. You're hard-pressed to find a starting pitcher that uses a single pitch more than 55% of the time, and in particular when it's really bad. So I don't really understand that kind of thinking, that kind of attack plan, let's call it. Right? Listen, the guy's going to have a sinker as part of his arsenal. That's understood. If it's not any good, he's having trouble locating it, he's getting smoked. Why is the answer, okay, so just throw it more and maybe different things will happen? Obviously, that's a definition of insanity, doing the same thing, looking for a different outcome. So 55 use, 650 X-Lug, only 14 whiff on the sinker. So give me Vladito and Teoscar and Biggio and the rest of those Bluebirds. But I think those are the guys I'm stuck right. Vlad, Teoscar, and Biggio is correct. Vlad, 17 doubles, 17 homers against righties on the year. Last 40 plate appearances against righties. Remember our triple slash. BA, ISO, OPS, ISO to take care of extra base hits for the total base props. OPS includes walks. 419, 236, 1019, everything firmly in place. And then again, the nuance on the context, you only really get at Cork Stats. If there's another show doing this, please let me know so I won't have to do this work. All right, we got into Vlad against right-handed sinkers on the air. He's been very productive. 556 slug, 15 barrel, and 4 home runs over to Teoscar. Last 30 plate appearances against righties. 346, 234, 991. Again, remember, ISO is an extra base rate, so 234 ISO is nearly 25% extra base hit rate for at-bats against righties. We're hoping to get 2 bases. Against sinkers, again, I try to run this filter for everybody. Teoscar against sinkers also doing work. 55 hard hit, 406 expected WOBA. And then Biggio has been really good the last 2 weeks, 353 BA, but he was really the one that rang on the sinker filter against right-handed sinkers year to date. 89 contacts. So first things first, 89 contact, 31 barrel, 471 ISO, and nearly 500 xWOBA. So definitely give me those Bluebirds. Today, backfill, into DraftKings for sure. That will make a lot of sense. And then I think almost any Blue Jay you get your hands on that's less than, let's say, $4.25 in Jock Market is a go. I'm going to be honest. I very rarely get Vlad shares. He goes up to $7, $8. I don't really do that. A guy like Biggio could be $4.05, $4.25. And again, where he could double and be less than Vlad cost to begin, Vlad could hit a home run at $8 not profit. So you see, that's why I like Jock Market so much. It's truly a thinking game. If DFS is checkers, Jock Market truly is chess. All right, next up, we want the Bravos going up against Bumgarner. Bumgarner 3.71 ERA, 1.33 WHIP. Generally not what we're going after. However, the OPS over 750. XFIP and Sierra north of 4.5. 10% K minus walk. 7% swinging strike rate. 88% in zone contact rate. So again, I know I've been catching heat lately for using numbers. Hello, it's baseball. But the idea is, it's funny. There's a gentle balance, right? No single number is going to do it, but 100 numbers is too much. So I try and highlight the most important ones, but how they connect to each other is the more important part. The application of the statistics more than just as a standalone. So when you hear me mention high walk rates, what does that mean right off the bat? Pitchers throwing a lot of pitches, men on base. Pretty intuitive. Lack of chases, low first strike rate. They're not getting ahead. Right, intuitive for walks, but the low chase rate is really important paired with the low first strike rate. If they don't get ahead, now they have 2 options. Are they going to try and beat you within the zone or trying to get you to chase something on the edge? Well, if they're not good at inducing chases, 1-0 becomes 2-0. Now you're in the zone. When you see the high contact rate, you know they can't win in the zone, and then you go towards the quality of contact, right? So you don't just want to say, he gives up too many barrels. What if he has a 40% whiff rate? It's hard to get the ball in it, but when you do, it's a barrel. Again, so it's so much nuance that goes into this understanding. I try and make it digestible. I know it's a lot, but again, we're really bringing you. This is the most advanced. This is like an advanced AP class in handicapping. This is not your generic. Just don't want to be making fun of people. They all have these terrible shticks. None of them understand the correlations, the stability. This is so stupid. They're all so stupid. All right, let's get back into it. I'm going to get myself canceled eventually. So Bumgarner, the underpinning statistics in the disciplined basket looking bad, but he's also had a tale of 2 seasons. First 7 times out, 1.78 ERA, 1.12 WHIP. Whoa, last 13 times out, 4.5 ERA, 1.5 WHIP. Probably more of what you'd expect. Again, I went into the Arsenal dissection. The problem here is the fastball bin. It's a 4-seamer and a cutter combining for 65 use. So again, cutters and 4-seamers not that dissimilar hitters. You've heard them talk about they kind of prepare for both at the same time, more or less. So 65 use, 500 X slug, only 17 whiffs. So again, there's my triple slash for a pitch. How often is it being used? X slug is the quality of contact. Whiff rate is the swing and miss. Again, not just statistics, but ones that work together. I'm trying to do my best to explain why. So Bumgarner has been pretty bad the last the last dozen starts or so. So, sometimes you really do want to split, and then we know Atlanta just absolutely kills lefty. Acuna, last 75 plate appearance against lefties, 267, 208, 80. Now, I know that's not crazy, but again, he's going to be hitting first. And against the fastball bin is really where he lit it up. Nearly 50 hard hit, 23% barrel against four-seamers and cutters from lefties. Again, nuance and context is just pouring out of my nose and ears. There's me nowhere left to fit it in the room. And then, of course, Austin Riley, pure GOAT among GOATs right now. On the year against lefties, 333, 375, 11, 28, 375. He's got an extra base hit 37.5% of the time. And he's killing that fastball bin from lefties. 50 hard hit, 15 barrel. Give me those bravos for sure. Then last up, let's get with the Pale Hose. It's the Chicago White Sox on the wrong side of the tracks in the Windy City. We got, sorry, I'm flipping back and forth. I forgot the names. Pollock, Eloy Jimenez, and Jose Abreu. Let's look at Pollock first. For whatever reason, his total base prop was not listed. I'm actually going to scroll as I'm BSing right now. That was one I was interested in, and I don't know why it wasn't. He was playing every day, sitting near the top of the lineup. I just don't really understand. Maybe they're waiting for Cork stats to come out. Obviously, the way we've been crushing, CLV, I wouldn't be surprised. No, his prop is still not up, so just keep an eye on Pollock. Last 20 plate appearances, 353, 294, 10, 68, 3 extra base hits. We know Pollock can be very good when he's healthy. Generally, it's a health issue for him. And when he's top side wave, get behind Pollock. And he does damage against those fastballs. We're going to get to Caprillion in a second. I know I did this one back. We're just trying to change it up a bit. 50 hard hit, 17 barrel, 400 ex-Woba against righties. For Pollock, Eloy, since he's gotten off the injured list, so it's last 2 weeks. So again, it's very limited, but again, Eloy's excellent. 333, 500, 12, 18. 82% contact, 27% barrel against the right-handed fastball bin. We'll get to why that matters. Keep those fastball numbers in mind. And then Abreu, though cold right now, 300 BA versus righties on the year, and he is a fastball killer, 440 ex-Woba before Shamalama ding-dongs on the year. They're going up against Caprillion, who I don't know, all the love that's been going on in Oakland. They've been pretty good as of late, but I was digging in. I'm not sure I'm buying in. Let's check it out. Caprillion, 474 ERA, 131 whip. Again, not generally what we go after. The OPS creeping up near 800, something we do go after. The FIP, XFIP, and Sierra are all north of 5. Again, attack metrics in place. 15% K to 11% walk, the double-digit walk we're into. 52% first strike rate, 29% O-swing. Again, low first strike, low chase rate. He's going into the zone. What ends up happening? 44 fly ball, 10 barrel, more than 1.5 home runs per 9. Yeah, he's been very good the last 4 games. That's what I saw that the model was reading. However, 11% barrel in that span and a sub 200 BABIP. So you might just have some batted ball luck explaining the Caprillion success. So I think maybe that's where we want to get. He's really using that fastball a ton. Again, 55 use on the fastball to righty. So I know I mentioned you don't see it often. That was Garcia overall. Something I wrote about at The Athletic, targeted approaches. Pitchers and organizations developing 2 distinct arsenals for a single pitcher against different-handed hitters. This stuff really matters, I'm telling you. Then you find handicappers out there trying to pick up on pitch mix changes, only to realize the pitcher only throws a certain pitch to lefties. They played the Blue Jays twice that don't have lefties, so it looks like they're changing their mix and they're not. Again, nuance, context, blah, 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 blah. Oh, that was a perfect time to ask for a like. Where else are you getting this kind of information? Hot damn, this should probably cost you money, but it doesn't. It just costs you a cartoon finger. Please rate, review, and subscribe to the audio-only pod. Those 5-star reviews mean the absolute world. You just got to put 5-star and say wowza. That's all we need. And again, the likes on YouTube are tremendous. I appreciate the people taking the second. It literally takes 1 second. I hate to be like this, where I know you don't owe me anything. Friends, in the words of the inimitable Rocky Balboa, friends don't owe, they do because they want to do. So I'm asking you to do it not because you owe it, because you want to do it to help the big dude out in this, first season on Mayo Media Net. Again, half tip to Patty for hooking us up. Man, he really brought it for all of us this season. All right. So we went over Caprillion, hyper usage of the fastball. It's not a very good fastball. 93 miles an hour. 16 inches vertical ride, 8-inch horizontal run. Neither of these are very good. So I have that pegged as just a bad fastball. It's not a good fastball. He's going up against very good fastball hitters. I think Chicago gets it done today. And believe it or not, for what it sounds like, they're not going to be very popular. All right, that is a stack attack. Hold on just a second. Sorry about that, man. not feeling well, running on the adrenaline, and coming high off. So hopefully, it was a pretty good appearance in my cable debut. All right, let's get into the fantasy end. I really don't have much for you today. We've been covering it all week, and I think that's really the lesson in itself is, and again, I've been extremely transparent about my, I was going to say success, but I really mean the lack of success in fantasy baseball this year. And it's funny, for all the videos, if you were following Mayo Media before we started the Daily Show here, I really was showing off some of that detailed analysis, right? The charting, the graphing, and all the stuff that goes into it. And a lot of the videos were hits. We had Jordan Alvarez as an MVP, right? Zach Wheeler as an the SP1. Looking really good if you had him. Fade Bueller, looking pretty good. You know, a couple of injuries like Woodruff, injured but now looks great, and you definitely want him, one of the best in the game. You know, we did very well. And I was really frustrated because week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, and every team is in like dead last. And again, we spoke about this. I didn't just come out of nowhere, you know, talking about it. I couldn't believe it. And I spoke about staying the course. You know, it's so important. And it is. And I was practicing what I preach, and I don't let it mess me up, and I never missed a fab week. And we always mind the advanced statistical leaderboard Tuesday, Wednesday. We always put out the ad sheet on Thursday. We circle back on Sunday. And that's a real lesson. So I'm not a big standings hawk. Again, a lot of this is not like, oh, I have this great methodology. I was embarrassed, frankly, because I was doing so poorly that I just kind of stopped looking at the standings, but I kept working extremely hard, right? Making sure I'm making smart decisions, staying on top of lineups, all the things that we preach here, and using the tools we bring you. Again, if there's any new listeners, what's up? Thank you very much. But yeah, the fantasy section of this, I know we have mostly handicappers and bettors with Mayo Media, but yeah, if you're playing fantasy at all, those graphics at the very least are worth it. I post them on Twitter at MLB Moving AVG. So I think the lesson for fantasy really just going forward is stay the course. Even a team that's on like 8, 9, or 10 right now could still get in the money and even win the damn thing. If you have the right players and you weather the storm, remember there's a flip side. You may be playing against GMs that have had bad players overperform, and now they're in the unenviable position of, do you ride the guy that kind of got you to first, but the guy that was in first is now in fourth, so he feels good about fourth, but maybe he doesn't feel as good about fourth as I do about sixth, because my sixth is coming from 15th, and that is legit. I'm dead serious. I don't really like to post these things because it's way too early. I wish I had. I guess I maybe can actually get the screenshots because you can go back week by week. But I'm telling you, I shit you not. Standings 12, 13, 14, 15, 15, 15, 12, 11, 15, 15. I could not believe it. It was like shocking for the amount of work. And I don't claim to be a roto expert. I'm a bit of a newbie entering that foray, right? Getting into the high stakes NFBC arena, and I'm learning with all of you, you know, and I don't mind taking my L's in public. I really don't give a crap about that. And I thought we did really good. I'm using all the calculators, running teams by people. Again, lesson for fantasy, okay? Even somebody like myself, who does a ridiculous amount of work on their own, a ridiculous amount of work. Identify the people that specialize in things and don't be afraid to outsource work. Now, I don't let people sway everything I do, but I do go to Prospect Guys for prospects, Roster Recon, and, you know, Jewett and guys like that, my boy The Athletic, for relievers. You know, don't be afraid to do that, and then identify the pods, you know, DiPietro and Depple Hitter, with the lineups and fabs and stuff, adding even The Athletic Melchior pod with DVR on Friday or Saturday. I think I catch it for Saturday morning. Also very good. You know, so something's about the tools. And then speaking of tools, before we finish the fantasy thing, the thing I want to share with you that I would like to do, but I don't really have the time and the means to get it out, is Fangraphs has a great tool for bullpens. A lot of people struggling with bullpens. Although remember, we did identify a few saves have popped up. I think Finnegan is going to be getting saves for the Nats. He might be scooped. Danny Jimenez is going to be coming off the IL for Oakland soon. I think he's going to be their guy. And if you find a guy that can get you 10 saves down the stretch, there is almost, there's no way to measure that. It's so huge. It's going to move you up the standings. Again, being sharp, we were on Trevino, we were on Strickland. Adding those saves are part of what pushed me up that next bit. Now, those guys are not really good. We need the next swath of players to fill them in. So, again, stay sharp. Keep your due diligence. Tune into MLB Moving Averages and Cork Stats Monday through Friday. And then follow me on Twitter on Sunday. We're going to follow up on that ad thing because that's the name of the game right now. When using the tools, you go to Fangraphs. You go to Roster Resource. So, fangraphs.com. Main tab, roster resource, bullpen, closer, depth chart. Like, can't be any easier than that. They have every single team on the same page. The last 7 days, nice, easy chart. Usage, who pitched, pitches thrown, and if it was a blown save, win or loss. And you could track these things in a better way than I can help you in a few minutes. So there you go. That's the best I could share you with. So good luck, everybody. Remember, hit me with all your questions. Right now, it's very difficult. Good players being kept, bad players being dumped, and they're hard to add. So, stick with us. We'll give you the names. If you missed the sheet yesterday, I did post the image. All right. That is the second Pillow of Profit. Let's round third and score the bowl, everybody. Okay, let's see. So props at the bottom. We already went over Vlad Jr. Amazing when his props are going off near even money. I think I saw one -105 at the open. I usually double check before I launch. I know some handicappers are obsessed with like, I got the better price, so I'm putting it up. I don't know. I don't want to say I don't care about it. I obviously care about price. But as far as posting for the public, for me, it's I want to beat the market. I want to beat the closing price. Yes, if we beat it with CLV, then that's even better. But I want to beat the closing price. And I think that's, again, probably what separates me from the field. So, again, I being the only handicapper that posts the worst price, I don't care. So, Vlad, near -110. That one's going to move 25 cents for sure. We covered that one. Vlad, very, very good. Brian Garcia, very, very bad. Again, the most detailed analysis for you, the Cork Stats crew. All right, then we got the other two. Let's get Atlanta to cover up the run line. So, we covered the Bumgarner side. Atlanta crushing lefties. And let's look at Kyle Wright just really quick. Love Kyle Wright. And if you were on it, he was on those ad lists. I actually have drafted him in a bunch of my 15-team deeper leagues. He was a draft target of mine when it looks like, he was going to make the rotation. And then, of course, those are tremendous, tremendous windfall profits. So sometimes it's just a single move here or there changes the entire trajectory of the season. Back to the lesson that I was mentioning with fantasy. Stay the course. All right, Kyle Wright, 2.95 ERA, 1.16 whip, a 6.35 opposing OPS, just jumping off the page. 17% K minus walk, 31% CSW. That's called strikes plus whiffs. Anything above 30 is awesome. First strike rate over 61. Right, we mentioned pitchers 52, 50, 48. He's at 61. Excellent. And an 83% in-zone contact rate, right? A lot of times we don't break down the good pitchers. We're talking about the bad pitchers. 83% in-zone contact rate is very good. 80 is really elite. 85 average. 90 bad. So 83, Kyle Wright can win in the zone, right? That's very, very important. When he falls behind, can he win in the zone? And, he keeps it low, keeping it slow. My Grill Master's ribs falling off the bone. 53 ground ball, 27 hard hit via BIS. The curve and the changeup, each coming in with a better than 32% whiff. And the Arizona offense, bottom 5 in ground ball, bottom 5 in hard hit. Right, the two things that Wright does very well. Keep it low, keep it slow. Arizona having trouble with lift and hard hit. So give me Atlanta to cover up the Snakes with Shapes on their back, -1.5. And then last up, we got the Cardinals. This is a severe misprice. Miles Mikolas up against Anibal Sanchez. Mikolas, 2.87 ERA, 0.99 whip, a 6.09 OPS. Again, Grill Master stats, 46 ground ball, 26 hard hit, home run rate right at 1. And the best time to back a good pitcher is after a bad start. 5 innings, 6 runs last time out. We're going to BTFD. That's buy the dip. You can figure out what that F means. And 1/3 of his game started. He's gone at least 7 innings, so I feel comfortable going with the full game. Flip side, Anibal Sanchez stinks. Going back to 2020, he only has 63 innings, 6.6 ERA, 1.6 whip. Oh my gosh, man. And 2 home runs per 9. Righties, the majority of hitters, have a 3.42 BA, better than 1,000 OPS in that span. St. Louis gets back Goldie and Arenado, who kill right-handed pitching. St. Louis offense has the MLB team lead in barrel percentage over 11, top 5 WRC+. Since the All-Star break, Washington offense, bottom 5 in BA, OPS, and barrel rate. Last 225 PAs. Give me St. Louis to cover up that run line as well, and hopefully we'll have better luck than we did again with those Phillies yesterday. Ah, my God, I can't believe how big that was. All right, that'll do it, everybody. Thanks for picking up what we're putting down here at Cork Stats and the Mayo Media Net. Gosh, I'll tell you, when it gets to the last show, I'm probably going to start crying, man. It means this much to me. I hope you appreciate, that, like what I do. I get paid for this work. What it means to me to be the best, right? Because that part we can't quantify, right? There are people that get paychecks and mail it in. There are people that get paychecks and work like they're on their last crumb of bread. And I like to be thought of as the latter, to really, really always be pushing to the fore. The detailed analysis, the arsenal dissection, the split pitch work. To me, that is really at the cutting edge now. As books, forget getting sharper, right? Books figured out, you know what? We're not going to be sharp in a Big Johnny, so we're just going to pull those lines. And that's been a part of, the red ink going on. I'm not ashamed of that. I mean, I had at least a part of shifting the actual American betting markets. Like, how cool is that? Getting F5 betting to the fore, making it really popular, and explaining to people why it provided an edge. So what they do, they pull the F5 moneyline bets, those bets we loved so very much, because getting those pushes was making the difference for us. Now they're getting us to pay. They're offering us a better price, but we're having to put our neck out for run lines where we didn't want to do that. And, that's been kind of part of the difficulty in general market betting, which, again, most people tell you it's impossible, which I understand. Even I haven't posted 2 years of double-digit returns. It's freaking impossible. Every day I was deathly afraid we were going to get rocked. It was going to start a losing streak that never ended. And I think, you should be like that when you're betting. You should never think you know how to predict the future. You should never think your model solve the answer to all that. I don't think that. I do think that as long as we continue to be malleable and flexible in our work, namely these total base props, namely shifting the chips, knowing when to play DFS, when to play total bases. And now I'm seeing some super sharp cappers out there, like my new best friend Joke and my dude Stu, that's Monotone Football. Joke is like at JOKEEE. You got to look him up. He is verified. My dude is just a Mac. That's another really strong community, right? I think, right? Game recognized game, hustle recognized hustlers worldwide. Like, we know how that works. So you check out that guy, my boy Stu, who's at everywhere. He's at Game Day. He's everywhere. Monotone Football at 1L has been on the same kind of track, but he's been focusing on pairing, right? And parlay to me is more than two. Pairing hits, single hits, right? Where I think the total base props for basically almost always get a hit. And looking for plus money there. And again, I'm never opposed to new ideas. I generally try and avoid pairing where I can. But if I can get to back test and find that 2 hits greater than sign over 1.5 total bases, I'm not going to be afraid to go after it. But as long as we keep getting the circumstances we're looking for, very strong hitter, right around even money, top third of the lineup, it's hard to say no to that. And that will do it, everybody. A bit of everything, a couple stacks, a couple lessons for fantasy. Please stay the course. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to be daring as well. Adding pitchers that have rough output stats, that stuff don't matter. And with betting, don't be afraid to challenge cold hitters, like hitters that are quote unquote cold, because they all produce in stints. And to me, the thing that wakes them up is being put in these ideal scenarios, against the bad fastball that they're so very good at hitting. Again, it just at the center of kind of the granular analysis. All right, this is getting off the rail. Another awesome week here at the Cork Stats War Room. I appreciate you all very, very much. Please rate, review, and subscribe to the audio-only pod. Press the like button, and if you really, really want to say thanks to us, you download the Jock Market app. I have a really good feeling about those stacks earlier today. Again, Vlad probably not, but maybe we'll get the back of the Blue Jays. Maybe we'll get the back of the White Sox and do some damage up in the Jock Market streets tonight. So, from all the lovely ladies and gentlemen at the Mayo Media Net, Enjoy the games. Enjoy your day. When we're done with the book, enjoy that pay. Keep an eye for the NFL pod once a week, which has been awesome. My MLB team futures article just dropped this morning at The Athletic. Check it out. It's not just player teams. I really broke out what I call field tickets, these complex approaches to betting. I know you wonder when I sleep, but I'll sleep. I don't know, when it's cold, I guess. Right. Everybody, enjoy your weekend. Remember, when you work this hard, it feels a lot less like luck, yo. Peace.